Good morning and welcome to today's Daily Think Share. So the other night I was talking with Alyssa and she was feeling sad and we weren't really sure why. I was like, well, what's making you sad? And she's like, I'm not really sure. I think it's a combination of a bunch of things. We had gone through some stresses that weekend and some life things had changed and we had some anxiety about buying property and all these kind of things going on. I said, just it's okay to be sad. And it reminded me of when I was a little kid and I used to have these kind of crazy thoughts, in my opinion, and I would think to myself, wow, am I a crazy person? Is this how crazy people think? And at some point I took the Landmark Forum a couple years ago, 2013, and they said, you are not your thoughts. They said, point to you. It would go like this, and then they'd say, no, that's your body, and then you'd point up here and say, well, that's kind of your brain, but what's you? And we kind of came to the conclusion that we are not our thoughts, we are not our body, we're not our name. We are like I, we, us, whatever pronoun you want to use. We are the space in which thoughts occur. We're sort of this space that can be represented by many different things. Well, this is kind of what I've come to, not just Landmark Forum, but I think it's a really powerful idea. It might not be the truth, but at least a powerful idea to think that we are not our thoughts. So, for example, if someone in class is having a bunch of sad thoughts or something, and then they say, I'm a sad person, or I am sad, they're now defining and almost condemning themselves to being that way. Versus if they have a bunch of sad thoughts and they have a bunch of sad feelings, then they just have a bunch of sad thoughts and feelings rather than being sad. And so when we're able to acknowledge that these thoughts, these feelings are not necessarily what we are, but they're things that we're experiencing because we're in a space that experiences things, then sometimes there's a lot of freedom in that. We can acknowledge that we are something separate from experiences that we're having. And so when you get you are not your thoughts, you can be okay with the thoughts. You can be okay with feelings coming across. I know one of my friends, she said whenever she's having a thinking session, but it's not necessarily thinking because it's not active, it's more passive. She says, I'm thoughting right now. She's just, spewing a bunch of thoughts from her head, and they're not really on purpose. Versus when I think of the word thinking, it's a bit more on purpose. So that's all for today. We are not our thoughts. Try it on. Think of it as a tool that you can separate yourself from what's going on inside of your head, such that you can be more empowered about what is going on inside your head, especially when it's not all positive stuff. Share with us in the comments, what are the things that you think of that you that would be useful anyway, to separate yourself from so that you can be more empowered? What are some things that you wish you weren't thinking were yourself? If you like this conversation, give it a like. If you want more, subscribe. And that's all for today. Stay weird.